Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. I've been conversing with someone who claims to be a boxing fan, only to find out that this person doesn't understand the fundamentals of boxing, and their arguments therefore were flawed. And it got me to thinking, let's talk about what a true boxing fan is and what a casual boxing fan is. Now we need both. We need people who are into boxing, and we also need casual fans. It's always good to have casual fans, but it's really a travesty when casual fans, they don't want to learn anything about the sport. They're just there to support a particular fighter, and that's it. And they're not interested in the sport of boxing. So why I say a true boxing fan of boxing, a true boxing fan doesn't have to be somebody who watches every fight every day of the week. You know, there's boxing going on 24/7 all around the world, okay? There are lots of fights going on, okay? Now there are serious boxing fans who are really into every single fight, prominent or not, and they're involved in boxing. They're either referees or they're, people who sponsor events, or they go to every event in their city to watch fights, okay? They even go to prisons to watch fights. We're not talking about them. Now, they're serious boxing fans, okay? Now, true boxing fans are just people who know, at least have some knowledge, and are willing to learn about the sport of boxing, okay? The sport of boxing. Now, a casual boxing fan, when a big event comes up, they're interested, or they hear about a name of a fighter, they associate with the name of a fighter, and these are the people who you see sometimes talking the most online, and they have no fundamentals of boxing. They know nothing about boxing per se. They only know about personalities. So they're attached to some boxer, and they're a fan of that boxer, but they're not a fan of the sport of boxing. I've heard some people come up with arguments like, I've been around the sport for 30 years. If you've been around the sport for 30 years, there's certain fundamentals of boxing you should know, And if you've just been around as a casual fan for 30 years, you won't know these things. A lot of times I notice that people who call themselves true boxing fans, they're exposed when they start to echo and parrot common themes that they've heard around them, but they don't think for themselves. For instance, a casual boxing fan does not know how to score a fight. They just don't know how to do it. So they have to go with whoever's commentating and whoever's saying what, but they don't know how to score a fight. A true boxing fan will know how to score a fight. These are fundamentals of boxing. So when I was talking to this guy, he exposed himself. He tried to accuse me of certain things, but he couldn't back it up with sound reasoning. And each reasoning he gave, I showed him what real boxing was about and refuted his comments. And I told him he was a casual, to which he was offended. But the truth of the matter is, we need both. We need casual fans and we need true boxing fans. But I will hope that the casual boxing fans, you will be humble enough to learn something in the sport. Because I'm willing to learn. I don't know everything about boxing. I've never boxed in my life. Okay, so I absolutely don't know a lot about boxing, but I'm willing to learn, and the things I observe about boxing I'm willing to talk about. And these are things I may discover or I've learned from other boxing channels like the Boxing Voice, where they're pretty much unbiased because there are different people and different views on there. And then there's EJ Boxing. Of course, there's the more prominent networks like the Boxing Channel, Fight Hub. You got Hustle Boss, Ellie Seckbach, which is, Ellie Seckbach is more entertaining than really talking about boxing, but it's all good. And you can learn about different fighters in history, their children. You can learn about the sport itself. Different channels teach you how to box even. And a lot of things in boxing are counterintuitive. So I just want people to know that true boxing fans follow the sport of boxing. They're not just following one or two fighters. And as Mayweather and Pacquiao go to fight one another, we're having all these casuals coming out of their crevices and rocks. And it's nice. It's nice to see the casuals out there. But you guys need to be humble enough to be able to learn something, because if you can't even learn and you're trying to hurl insults at people, you really sound stupid to true boxing fans. You sound really, really idiotic, you know. So my boy Boxing Ego talked about this. I'm not going to make it a subject that I'll keep too long, but what I want to say is that you can learn the sport of boxing. There's so much to learn. Even boxers, it takes them many, many years to learn so many things. Okay, so what I would say is have a mindset that is teachable in boxing. A lot of people, they're not teachable. And if you meet somebody like me, I'm going to let you know that you're not teachable, and also that you're gone way over your head, because I will actually put you in your place with argument. I will show how your arguments are flawed, and I'm going to continue to do that to all these casuals who keep on stepping up, coming in, making allegations, or saying things which without reasoning. I'm going to actually start to put them in their place, because if you don't know about the sport, and the sport is a very difficult one, and you don't have appreciation for the art, then don't be talking about the sport, because there are certain fundamental things about the sport of boxing that you guys don't even know about. So if I were you and I go into something I don't know much about, I start to read about it, ask questions about it. You know, that's what I would do. So anyway, that's all I got to say.